Alright everybody, let's go ahead and get started. Hello. Okay, so welcome. It looks like we actually have a few people based on who's in the calendar right now and who's viewing or whatever. And we're going to start out with answering a few questions. And giving you some more resources to help you answer future questions, solving a few technical issues, and then we'll figure out one or two more features to add to the golf club Selector app and talk about what app we're going to build next. Well, there's a couple different options. So let's go ahead and get rolling with first of all, Mr. Brucey, are you there?
I am.
Okay, good.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, I think my mic
Oh,
is crazy
nailed
loud.
it.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the calendar because that's always fun to do. And so we still have some time, but this isn't infinity time. You still need to actually do the work. I know it's hard for people to look at 2 weeks and say, I have 2 weeks to do this project. Can start it later. No, you need to be working on it. So So there's that. We will have some sort of check-in assignment, like I suppose probably by the end of the week we'll do something where you give us sort of an update, a check-in, progress check. That's the word I'm looking for. Progress check assignment that you guys will need to hand in just to make sure, for us to make sure that you guys are actually making progress. Hence the name of the check. A few other things on announcements. There is a Blair computer team, so CNA programming competition. If you have interest in that, there's the link, and there is a form. It's a team thing. It's optional. It's a competition, that sort of thing. I got that from Miss Wright, the AP computer science teacher. And we have unearthed a playlist directly from a College Board reader, meaning like a grader, and he has made this playlist that is uh, comprehensive, we'll call it. And we're not going to,
Start functions by asking.
obviously, we're not going to sit here and watch them all together. Um, we'll pick out some key points from time to time, uh, but everything you need to know is on this playlist, including um, what was the other thing? The uploading, completing, and submitting, all
I
that
think it's a
stuff.
great resource if you have like a question that you weren't super clear on. Just go find it in that playlist
All right,
and
welcome
then
to
see
another.
what they have to say about it.
Yeah,
And since it is from, it's posted by AP, College Board, it should be the most accurate. Um,
yeah, and it's this year, so it's all relevant, and it walks you through how to like upload to the your digital portfolio, which is what they call the College Board, the place where you upload things. So anyway, this is a great resource that you guys will pretty much every question that doesn't have to do with like grades or something is the answers will be there somewhere. Let's I guess let's answer a couple questions first, and if I can figure out how things work, I just don't want to do that. I want to do that, but not that. And I'll see if I can find the questions. Yeah, this one. Okay. So a few, these green ones are good to go. All right. You can do your app or your program in any programming language. We recommend AppLab just because that's what we've been working on. Um, Debugging from lesson 17. Let's come back to that. Um, Individual, let's see here. We'll talk. Let's explore task already do. No. Um, Blank assignment. Okay, so these are personal questions. Let's come back to these. I'm not hiding these for privacy reasons. I'm hiding these so that we can focus on the other ones. How many create task? Um, okay, so technical issues. If you started your project on the create task bubble, say when it was open for that brief period of time, that the create task unit was open and you started your project here, um, we what you need to do, since you currently don't have access to it, you need to um, e watch want to show up for one of the live streams like we are right now, one at some point in the future, and say something in chat, and I'll unlock it, and then I'll unlock it for you. You can copy your stuff out into a blank AppLab project, and then I'll set it back. I don't want to like set a schedule and say, okay, Sunday night from this time to this time, I'm gonna unlock the create task bubble. Just it would cause more confusion. Just is anybody watching right now need that temporary access? Say something in chat. Okay, so I guess that person is not watching right now. We'll respond with an email. Mr. DeRusi, can you respond with an email with that information to that person?
Which one? Sorry, I was typing a response in chat.
This one.
I think that, can I ask the project code.org?
Just
what?
Have them show up for a live stream and say something in chat, and then during the stream, I'll unlock it and relock it.
Yeah, I can do that. Yep.
Yeah. Just like every other day, we post the time of the next stream, at least by the night before. Let's see. When is the explore test due? When is AP? Okay, there is no test. There is no test. The two performance tasks are the test. They need to be uploaded to the college board by the date posted on the class calendar. Okay, this is something that I've responded several times to people, but I can't really get upset at anybody because I'm responding. It's not like I've said it to the class 50 times. I've said it to 50 individual people once. But let's hope this solves that for more than one person. And yeah, same thing here. Oh, where do you submit the create test when it's completed? Oh, great question. We will have an entire stream on, I don't know if we can even. So, you can find directions from this playlist that has all of the things about the performance tasks, algorithms and abstractions. Specifically, you'll find where you put them in this video, the completing and submitting. The reason why we can't do a stream based on it is because our College Board account, what it looks like for us isn't what it looks like for you. We don't have the submit buttons in the submit interface because we are not submitting stuff. We can see who's submitted stuff and who's completed, but it wouldn't be much help, not nearly as much help as you guys just watching the video that explains from the actual College Board. So that would be the answer to, let's go ahead and watch the first video on, watch the first video from the playlist from okie dokie. And let's see, so these are all good to go. What color dump did you use for this? One down, one in.
And then Mary in the chat, should we be as far as you and your app or farther like done? It really depends on your comfort level. The app, all the create task isn't due for another like 2 weeks or so, or it doesn't need to be turned in. So hopefully you're getting into the app and you have an idea for it and you have it kind of set up with what you want to do. Maybe like pseudocode. I wouldn't say you need to be as far as Mr. Holt is, but it wouldn't hurt if you are that far. I don't know how else to answer that one. It's kind of individual.
Well, the point of this last few series of streams has been walking you through the design process, starting with some general ideas and some user interface. Like we started with buttons and um, text inputs and stuff like that before we even started coding to get an idea of where we're going, and that you should probably have your idea and your user interface buttons or user interface elements uh, handled. Um, Other than that, um, probably should do a. It's really hard to get feedback when there are not that many people watching live and asking questions. It's not nearly as effective, or it's much more effective to be in chat live asking questions as opposed to submitting questions this way. Although this is effective. Let's yeah, why not? Let's do this. Let's do some debugging from way back. What was the question? The question is Elizabeth 18. It says every circle is undefined. Let's take a look at it. It's code. They may have fixed it. That's the thing. What is it? Is it shift click? Uh, hmm. Strange. Seems to be working. That's the thing about if somebody has solved it, the link doesn't go to their broken version. It goes to this project, which if they have changed the project, it will show up changed. So there's that. Going to AppLab, do calculations, multiplying variables, put in the code, runs the code, puts 0. All right, so let's see what we have here. Jeez. Hmm. Okay, so here's the problem. You are creating a variable mass. You're getting the text right away when you hit run. You don't want to get text until they hit calculate button. If you put all of this inside of your event handler, then it will get it once. See, let's just try this. Undo break. What did I miss? Why is that? Oh, this is mine since I can't break it. Let's put all of this in here. Yeah, we don't want to create those variables until you hit calculate. Except it's not running. Did I break it? Do I need something for everything? I definitely would. No, let's see here. First, let's see if this button actually works. Button is not actually working. Let's try and refresh. Okay, so let's there we go. All right, so yeah, I don't know if you guys are having the same issues with having to refresh AppLab like every major change, but that seems to be an issue. But the issue was that the variables were being created when you hit run because they were outside of the event handler. Anything that's outside of a function, really, even though this is a yellow block, it's a green block, anything that's outside of a function happens right away when you hit run. In this case, it is not. You don't want it to create those variables until you hit calculate. So that's handled. And scoring criteria. Yeah, from the explore task, there's a to be writing blank, but there isn't a. I don't think there's anything on um, the rubric, like the 8-line rubric, specifically about that. I don't know if that means you would lose any points if you skipped it, but I wouldn't skip. Just answer it well. Let's see. There's probably something in here.
Hello, welcome to another video for AP Computer Science Principles. All right, my name is Daniel Bonarigo. It's available at 19 examine. Then you have the explore, do that story. Okay, your first view sneak peek. So this is where we're going to earlier link that I showed you. All right, image here, they have some tagline. Right, so let's generate recognition. So I'm going to go back here. Students, we wrote into a video that is matched with known faces in a database for identification. So row 8. Just so correctly function database. Fact, facial recognition is something that they found in their research. So this guidelines for crime causing rates to crime rates.
Yeah, there's nothing about.
Row 1 and row 2. All right, let's go on to rows 3, 4, and 5. Row 3.
Yeah, look at this. So they're going through the responses. 2A response is about row 2, and then row 3 is about their 2C response. So yes, technically there isn't really a score associated with box 2B from the explore task, but I wouldn't risk it. Just answer it. Good. In the explore task, we are not. Yes, you are supposed to explain how it works at some point, what it does. You're just in general. Yes, this last sentence looks correct, but you're supposed to talk about how the innovation uses data sort of like in general. You don't really need to like talk about coding languages or that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I would need a more specific example to do that. Is the Explorer task due already? No, the Explorer task is not due already. How many screens is the create task supposed to have? There's no number. I always think it's nice to have like an intro screen or something like that, but it doesn't necessarily have to have more than one. Just make it work. Make sure you hit all the criteria. We will come back to personal. I'll come back to those. Yes, you can use whatever language you want. Recommend AppLab. And that person's thing was fixed. watch the videos, watch the live stream videos. Everything that you need to know is covered on those, including where to find other answers. Yeah, email sent. Good. Thank you, Mr. DeRusi. Okie dokie. All right, so that's it for that. Let's unless is anybody, no, nobody else. What could we do? Add another feature. I'd like to have something where the person can customize their distances, where, like right now, we have the user puts in the distance to the pin, to the hole, with the slider, and we're not even using this list. We just sort of put that out there at the beginning, where we could check against their input against this list, and then apply the correct club from this other list. But we're not even doing that. We're just using their raw data, their input. But we could have a way of having them put in their own distances and have them replace these numbers, and then have it would be like if the user distance, what they put in, is less than whatever they submit for their first thing, which would be dis index 0. Okay, so we can get them to submit a value to be placed in this first slot, which would return a 9 iron, and then we would reference that to give them the correct output club. So, trying to think of the best way to do that. Let's put that back, and let's remix this so that we don't break it, because I have a feeling I might break it. Let's call this radio button if else, custom dists. All right, so let's see here. Let's say first let's have a welcome screen. Let's call it welcome screen, and welcome screen, and how do you make it? Oh yeah, make default. And let's have a label. It says welcome. All right, let's give it a title. Golf. Club selector helper. What are we calling it? Golf club helper. I don't need to spend too much time on golf. Too much time on making it look too pretty, even though I have in the past. Okay, let's see what color. I want to use the same color as background. This is called 3CA20B. Let's go to the welcome screen, background color, bam. And let's have a couple of buttons. Let's make button 2 be select select club. Club button. And let's have this one be input distances, and this will take us to a new area. Input your let's call this button, and there's no reason why we can't make it look good. Let's get another green color. And so this one is going to take us to the old area. Oh shoot, not import screen. We call it input screen. So this button, select club, is going to just have us switch to the our original default screen, and then the app will just play out like that. We want to set screen. Set screen. I know I'm staring right at. There we go. Set screen to input screen. Let's put this up here with our event handlers. This happens at the very beginning of the program, so let's have this up here. And let's put some more space there. And let's run it just to make sure. Boom. Okay, takes us back to our old thing. And I don't know why I did that. Okay, and then let's do one from here. Well, we need a new screen first before we can do this. Let's call this screen custom distance input screen. Custom dist input screen. Good. And let's no, we don't. That's good. Let's go back to the welcome screen, and we wanted this button to take us there. When we click on that button, we want to set screen to custom input this screen. And I'm kind of stalling because I'm not sure how we're going to do this yet, but we'll give it a shot. Okay, so all the distances, this will break if they don't put in distances that are in order. Since we are checking for less thans or greater thans comparisons, if we let them put in custom distances out of order, we would need to, we wouldn't be able to let them use, the slider to select their club. We would need only the distance, the specific distances they gave, which would be a drop down. But I really like this, so we're going to figure out a way to make sure that the distances they put in are in order. Although there's probably a way to compensate for that too. Let's double check. Good. Okay. So let's go to dist input screen and welcome screen. Give it the same, and then we'll go to this. Okay, so could we do a slider? Here's an idea. What if we had a slider for each one? where each one was only given a limited range. Let's where, let's see here, let's do 9 iron and a slider. And let's say the 9 iron has a range of, they can choose between 80 and 104. Oh, this is going to be good. And starting, what's, just to make it easy, 84, and have it start at 94. And then we need a, what did we use before for this? This is a text area. And I want to do some sort of, this sort of thing, but for each club. So what did we use for that piece of code? On event, it had to be an event with the slider. It's this one. Okay, so we want to set text to a get number. Oh, this is going to be good. Custom input, 9 iron. Okay, and so it's this one. Let's call this 9 iron slider. This might get a little tedious. Let's see what happens. On event, 9 iron slider. I already forgot. What did we call this? On event input set text. It is input set text of, let's see here. Yeah, there we go. That's happening down there. So we'll set text of set text of did I even name it? Yeah, we need to change this. Let's call this 9 iron by ton text area. Back to the code. Set text of 9 iron text area to get number. And let's run. Oh, that's good. Okay. And let's, did we have a, I'm going to make this the default screen temporarily just because it'll be easier to go back and forth. We want the text to be whatever the default is. And then when we hit run, this should change. Oh, beautiful. All right, so we are going to have one of these for each one, which, can we copy everything? I'll definitely do it for the labels. Delete that. Duplicate. So this would be 8 iron. This would be 7 iron. This would be 6 iron. Ooh, not plus iron, 6 iron. Five, 4, and a 3. This would be 5. This would be 4. This would be 3. Iron. And let's do a bunch of these. Get them to line up. You could, of course, go through and go through the X and Y positions of everything, which I can already tell it doesn't look like it lines up. There we go. Mr. DeRusso, are you still there?
I am, yes.
Okay. I'm guessing you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm muted. I'm just going over
Push to
work
talk. I got you. We need. We're just gonna go through and call these text area 2. What do we call this? 9 iron text. Yeah, let's just go through and. Are we gonna need more space? I really don't want to do that. Oh, that's horrible. Let's just move the first one up a little bit. Looks like the text areas take up the most space. It's nice that it clicks a little bit. I'm just lining up the these little like bottom drag things. I don't know what you would call those. I'm sure they have a name somewhere. And let's duplicate this. Still doesn't look, I think it looks alright. Duplicate, we still have to go through and name everything. Does that look even? Square? Whatnot?
Yeah, I think so.
Duplicate does definitely make it easier. I didn't want to do that. The problem is I can't zoom in anymore than I already am. Okay, that looks fine for that. All right, so this is 9 iron slider, let's just make everything go down the line. 8 iron slider, 7 iron, 6, 5. You can see it's red there because it already exists. Can't use the same name twice. 3 iron slider. And this is called 9 iron text area. Okay, so let's just call these all, use the same notation. So let's go here. Let's make this 8 iron, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3. Okay, so now we need some ranges. We don't want them to overlap, and this one is from 84 to 104. So that means this one, the range is going to be 105. And I'm kind of going off of the code that we had before, 105 to 114. And we'll have it set to 110. Oh, I don't like that. 94. We gave this one a range of 20. How about let's just make it 95 and set the current value to 100. Does that line up? Yeah, there we go. So we'll give a range of 10, well 9, but the minimum's going to end in 5 and the max is going to end in 4. And the starting value will be with a 0. So this is 105 to 114. So that makes this one 115 to 124. Current value is 120. Good. And this one was, so this will be 125 to 134, and have the current value be 130. I really want these to start lining up, all lined up. Let's see what distances we used for, whoa, oh geez, that could have been bad. 33, 58, 73. Well, we can go off our own distances at this point. It doesn't matter because we are going to replace them with whatever they put in. So we can just sort of ignore these. We're not going to use hard-coded numbers. We're going to use the indexes from this list. We're going to take all their inputs and slot them into each slot of that list and then reference it here. Okay, so let's just stick with it. This is 25 to 34. So this is going to be from 135, and we can spread this one out a little bit. 45, 55, 150. What is that going to do? 142, 43, 44, 43, 44, 1, 151, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, 1, 152, How is 144 that far down? There we go, I think. So this goes 151, so let's make this 152 to 170. Make this 160. 63, 62. That's pretty close. And this one is from 171 to, I don't know, 200. 200. And what's halfway in between there? 185, 86, 87. That's good enough. And we'll just have these start with the current. Okay, so this is current value 110. Oh no. I don't want to readjust everything. Let's just make it smaller. Uh-oh. Okay, so that works. I do not want that. Let's copy this. Let's go. Let's delete that. Let's duplicate this. Let's make everything at 12. We'll call it that thing again. And we'll set the text to 110. What the heck? Because I made it 11. Jeez. Okay. Let's duplicate this one. Duplicate. And we'll call it this. And we'll make it say 110. Okay, good. This one is 120. How? How does it not work? Okay, well, let's try that. Let's try 10. Oh, I could have just done it this way. Good. Okay, let's take this down to 10. This one needs to be 130. And let's take this down to 10. And this needs to be 144. I would definitely, if I didn't already have so much time invested in it, I'd go through and neaten this up a little bit. But if you don't realize what happened, the text area was too small for that size font, and it has ruined everything. Not everything, just most things. And this needs to be 162. And then this one needs to be 187. Okay, so we have two other main tasks to do. First one is getting all of the sliders to change the numbers in real time, like as the app's running. And then we need a button that will capture all the numbers and put them into that array. So let's make a button. Let's have it say apply distances. And let's change it. Let's get a golf appropriate color. Hey, that should be lighter. I don't like any of this actually. There we go. And so this button needs to take us apply this buttons. This needs to take us to, this is going to do several things. This is definitely going to set the screen to our input screen. Yeah. And so this works because that's what this is. Which I think we can just copy and do 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And so on event 8 iron, 8. Did I put the 8 iron slider at the end? 9 iron slider 8. Yep, I probably did that. Input set text of 8 iron text area to, let's see if that works. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Why is that not working? Did I use a different input? Input. I know this is weird. That says 9 iron slider 8. Huh. Let's just go, well, let's get this working correctly. There also might be an issue with the fact that I have this same thing copied so many times. What time is it? 12:30. Let's see if we can get one of these to work and we'll call it there for today.
Don't forget refreshing if.
Oh
if
yeah,
needed.
good call. That's got to be what it is.
Definitely not your code. Oh yeah.
No, it doesn't work. How does this? Oh, you know what? I bet. What is the interval for this? Step size 1. 110 to 114. No, starting at 110. Value is 110. But that shouldn't go to 100. Why is that? You know what? Let's just fix the names of things first. This is not 8 iron slider. And this is 8 iron text area. We'll go back to the code. On event 8 iron slider. Set text of, oh, because it was get number from 9 iron slider. There we go. I bet this works. There we go. All right, let's wrap up do all these, and then next time we will figure out how to add these into that list. So let's go ahead and uncomment these. Control / is the comment thing. Okay, so we have 7 iron slider, set text of 7 iron text area to 7 iron slider, and a 6 iron slider, 6 iron text area, 6 iron slider, 5 iron, 5 iron slider, 5 iron text area, 5 iron slider. Did I do too many? No, we're good. 4 iron slider, 4 iron text area, 4 iron slider, and 3 iron. I've already spaced 3 iron slider, 3 iron text area to 3 iron slider. He's hit run. Oh yeah, this is looking really good. What do you think, Mr. Drusi? Would you use this app on the links?
Um,
Just say yes.
it's definitely cluttered, but I think it's on the right track though. I think it'll work.
Yeah. Um, the flaw in this, admittedly, is that when you hit refresh and start the app over again, all those distances go away. There is a way with data to store things, um,
Like on a
and
per user basis kind of thing.
not on a per user. It would be for the project, but it would stay even after you refreshed. I mean, you could change it. It's sort of like an array. It's actually an object key value pairs, but you could restart the app and it would be saved, and you could keep those distances every for every time and have change them anytime, but um, have them actually do their distances or actually maintain. And we also need let's add some things. Okay, so um, apply custom distances to dist array. We need back and reset buttons. Can you think of anything else that we need for next time?
No, not
All
off
right.
the top of my head.
All right. Let's go ahead and call it there. And I don't know if we're going to stream tomorrow, but definitely Thursday, possibly tomorrow. We'll put the time up at some point this evening, as per usual. Okay? All right. So that's it. And we will see you guys next time.